Rebecca, earlier this year on Good Day DePaul, you told us about a DePaul athlete who's achieved big things despite a significant handicap. Well, now that athlete has reached new heights. Here's Rebecca again with her story.
An outstanding student, a Division I athlete, and now the holder of not one, but two American records. Meet Noelle Malkamaki, a DePaul sophomore who competes for the women's track and field team. The Blue Demons recently finished their outdoor season at the Big East Conference Championships. Noelle was a top 5 finisher in the women's discus, throwing a new personal best of 41.66. But she wasn't done yet. Just 1 week later, Noelle traveled to Milwaukee to compete in her first ever Paralympic track and field meet. Little did she know, she would walk away from that competition having set national records in the shot put and discus throw.
Going into the meet, I was kind of aware of international records, and I was like, okay, I'll have these numbers in my back pocket, completely unaware that, obviously there are national records as well. So we threw shot put, and they kind of took a while to double check my distance. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then some of the other women that I was throwing with were talking to me, and they said, well, I think you threw a national record. They're going to double check that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? I didn't even think about that possibility.
Born with amniotic band syndrome, Noelle's right arm ends at her wrist, which puts her in the classification F46 in the world of adaptive sports. Noelle has been an athlete all her life. She started with track and field in high school and has competed at the collegiate level for the past 2 years. Until recently, Noelle had never even considered pursuing para-athletics. This new adventure will open doors beyond those that she was already breaking through as a Division I athlete. Her coach, Brandon Muir, talks about the hopes he has for Noelle's future as a thrower, both inside and outside DePaul athletics.
Conference titles, national qualifiers, All-Americans, is it in the realm of possibility? Absolutely. World records, Paralympic medals, national championships, is that possible? Absolutely. So we'll leave that for her to do, and I will be there to support her the whole way.
On the day of her first adaptive meet, Noelle threw the shot put 11.85 and the discus 40.46, shattering the existing American records by a landslide. The most impressive part? These distances were what she would call average performances, implying that there's a lot more where that came from. And Noelle isn't too far from breaking the world records in either event. Her personal best in the shot put and discus are less than 1 meter off of the existing marks. So what's next for Noelle? She's still figuring that out. Being so new to the world of adaptive sports, she and her coach are learning more every day. Unfortunately, the Tokyo Olympics this summer will not be an option.
The date to get into trials has passed, so I wouldn't be able to do Tokyo, but they don't have my classification throwing at Tokyo this summer anyway. And the reason for that is they don't have enough people in that classification that have interest to have an actual competitive field. The same thing happened in 2016 from what I'm hearing, and they haven't released anything for Paris for 2024 about what classifications they will have throwing there.
If more athletes in Noelle's classification decide to participate in the next Paralympic Games, we could see a Blue Demon take the world stage in 2024. In the meantime, Noelle will continue to focus on her studies, her training, and her personal growth, something that she's experienced quite a lot of over the past few years and that her coach has observed.
The mental and emotional growth I've seen out of Noelle this year has been almost second to none out of, I think, anybody I've ever had. And if you want to track her success down to anything, I think it comes really from there. I'm not taking credit for that. Noelle did the hard work, and Noelle has an amazing support structure. She has an amazing family. She has a amazing husband from all the stories that I've heard, and she has been able to have the space to grow, and she's taking advantage of it. The mental, emotional energy that has come out of her this year it's going to be interesting to see what the next few years are like, because I just imagine that she's going to keep growing, and she's going to be a very good leader for the team. And I think that she's already inspirational to me, and I think that she'll be inspirational to her teammates and hopefully for little young girls and little young boys that need someone to look up to as well.
For Good Day DePaul, I'm Rebecca Chenard.